Hi folks, I'm Lee Phillips in Guelph, Ontario, Canada, and we make this model. It's a 1/400 scale of the Edmund Fitzgerald freighter, a very famous freighter that went down in Lake Superior. So this is how they're purchased, and when you take it out of the packaging, this is what she looks like. You pop that apart and start putting it together. So today I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of how you put this boat together. There's really only like 22, 23 pieces, not all that hard. So here we go. So first, on the bottom, put a bead of hot glue on the bottom. See this fold here? That goes here along that bottom edge. Put it together. I use a hammer on some of these glues, and it makes a huge difference. Now the other side. Again, the fold right on the bottom edge there. Line it up the other side. Good. That one's done. This is your bottom piece. We'll let that one set for a minute. Now, I use a fold in here to get this nice and square, but you don't have to. If you're doing it on your own, just make sure she's square when you maybe staple it together or glue it. So for me, I do this. I put a little mark so I know where my glue is going. And glue. Put her on. This. I put a staple in it. Now you got a nice square base. See, look at the boat. I mean, she's quite rigid and strong. She's not waterproof, water resistance, and there is a slot here that say a child can use it as a piggy bank. Anyway, so that's number 2 piece. We fold these, get this one ready. We'll go back to this one. Next, we'll work on our fences. So this is going to give us our fence on the boat. Now, this one you really do want to put a hammer to it to get it down and flat. Down and flat. Oh, this is not folded yet. Okay. See, I find it handy to have a stick handy that you can use as a maybe the last of the hammer, but it works. And the other side. Now, these tabs fold underneath, You'll see. There's a little fold in here, but if you smooth around, covered, get this on here, you can line up. I line up, I'm most concerned with the top and to let the name line up on the bottom. By the way, that bottom piece is in three pieces. We are trying to work on a new die that will make it in 1 piece, but basically the same. So we'll let that set. These tabs inside. Basically the same. So we'll let that set. These tabs inside. So here, same idea. Smear the glue on. Line up with the top. See what I mean? Now, if you can't hammer and you want it firm, I'll hold it with a pair of pliers. Now inside, a little bit of glue. This you have to fuss a little bit, pull on it, get it lined up with your bow. Seems to make a big difference with the glue gun to have some pressure on them. This back one here, so this is just going to get, and again, once you get your glue on, you're going to want to form it a little bit. So just to get this nice and round, pull it in, just fuss with it a little bit. It's not an exact art. There, we'll let that set up and we'll start on the pieces. Let's do this one. So again, there's only 20 pieces. We're just folding them, getting them down, over. This is your back section here. So that's all there is to it, just on the white surface here, a little bit of glue. Drill handy. Again, not urgent. You can do it after. These are just full pieces. This is the staterooms at the back of the ship. And you just get them folded over and get them ready. Then, see this little tab? That's all we want to glue. So we put this little bit of glue on here, bring this tab around, put it on top. Be nice to get pliers on it, if you can. That's another one done. This is the auto unloader box that goes on top of the ship here. It's just a box. You don't have to fuss with the pliers, but it sure makes a stronger connection if you can get pliers or a hammer or something to flatten it down. There we go. Again, all we're doing, taking your time, enjoying the ride, and put another piece together. You're just putting the pieces together, getting ready, get ready. Okay. Fold, fold, fold. Again, not that hard. Take your time, enjoy the ride. Some glue. This is going up on the bow of the ship. Here's one that we have to fix. This thing is too deep. So what happens is when it was printed, you see this piece is underneath here, and if you leave it this high, it's going to be too high. You can see, so it was wrong. Easy fix. So we take we actually cut it in half. We just get a knife or a pair of scissors or something, mark it in half, cut her in half, put some glue on it, and glue her back together. Now she's half the height. See what I mean? We want this to be half the height. So maybe we'll leave that for a few minutes to let it set up. We'll come back to that and we'll work on another one. So This is in the back section here. I believe this is called the poop deck. And here, this is a little funny. It's good to see. So I fold this back like this. Fold it back, right? And when this comes up, and fold this. And the only glue on this is you're going to glue this. You're going to glue it into this corner. So put some glue here. Put this baby down here. Use something to hold it in place. That's the only glue on that one. It's just to hold this cross piece across. That one little thing. Okay, let's do the smokestack. Fold that down good. In there, in here. And glue. There we go. She's done. Again, I'm a fuss for pliers. Makes a big difference. This is a funny little project for me. It's kind of a sideline. I spent some time in St. Catharines, and I would watch the ships going through. And when they finally built a museum and gift shop at lock number 3 on the Welland Canal in St. Catharines, interesting, wonderful place to see the ships go through. Wonderful. You're right up close. They're in and out of the canal, and you couldn't buy a model ship. Let's go back to this one. So that's one place where these are retailed. So now this has to be, I just happen to make a little piece that it's the right height, just to save me some time when I'm building display models. But again, what you want to do is just fold these down that it's the same height as this here. So now we're going to put a little glue on this. Anyway, again, the ships are sold at the Welland Canal Museum and Gift Shop at lock number 3 in St. Catharines. Another popular place is the Shipwreck Museum at Whitefish Bay, Paradise, Michigan. It's on the upper northwest side. Actually, Whitefish Bay is where the Edmund Fitzgerald was heading. And if she would have made the storm, she would have had protection out of at Whitefish Bay. So anyway, there's another piece done. That's done. That's done. Here's the pilot house. Get that together. And the fold. The ships come with a little display card. They also come with a card here that tells you the information about the Edmund Fitzgerald, when she was built. On June 7th, 1958, she was launched. She cost $8.4 million. She's 729 feet long and 75 feet wide. On the back here, we have the history of what took place. Got into a storm on November the 9th, 1975. And all 29 crew went down with her. The Arthur Anderson ship was following close behind and made a call to her, and she was having some problems, but she said, her reply, "We're holding our own." And there was no more conversation with the ship. She was just gone, like she disappeared. So there's the pilot house. Top, bottom. See, it's good to put good bends in these, because in the end we want this to wrap around. Okay? We want it to kind of bow out at the front there. So that's why we have these little folds in them that we just kind of play with a little bit to get them to come around and fold. So that's done, that's done. These pieces are all ready to go. So this is maybe kind of one of the tricky parts to get this in here. Now I'll show you how I do it with a glue gun. I put lots of glue on so she stays hot and lets you maneuver. But if you're concerned about it, fill it in here with white glue. Put your piece in and put elastic bands around it and let it sit overnight. Me, I load it. I load the inside here with a bunch of glue on both sides. She's hot on both sides. A little bit down the middle, squirt it on, and I set this in like so. You have a little bit of fuss time to get it in, and you start working it. You see what I mean? You're just trying to get it in. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. There's going to be pieces that slide in here to hide some of this detail, but you can see she's holding. She's hot and she's holding. Not bad, eh? So here we go. This is our next piece. She's going in here. I like to, I think I'm right, the ladder's going from the inside to the out, but I don't know if you'd be criticized, but here we go. Put that piece up in here. She's in. Next piece, put a little bit of glue on top of that. There's our next. This is called the forecastle. Next piece, what will we do next? Well, let's get our bottom on. So here, this is going to go like so on the bottom down in our rudder assembly. So we're going to put on the white here, a bit on the bottom. Just get her on, get her nice and straight. Now our rudder too. Let's put our rudder together. While we're here, let's put our flag. I just bend it over like so. Just get it nice and round. Put some glue all along the flag. Take my stick, I wipe it. Make sure your flag is. Keep your flag. See, she was an American ship, so you want to keep your flag up on the top. Don't glue it on upside down. It's a thought. This is a little tricky. Actually, I use little scissors or something just to cut this out a little bit, because the stamp for it is a little close. But anyway, just open it up with a knife or a little pair of scissors, just enough that you're going to put a little bit of glue on this. Good, let that set. That's coming. Glue kit in case there's a need. You might be able to do that, eh? Don't need a whole lot of stick going into the bottom, but so what I do is I put a little bit of glue in the hole here. A little bit on the edge. There's our prop. Here's our rudder. Pull the right tab up and up. Back to a little glue. So you're kind of figuring to yourself, how's this going to go on? It's going to go on like this, and the bottom of this boat here is tilted a little bit, so you don't have to do this, but after, so I bend this with a little bit of a bend to match the top of the ship. Put a little bit of glue, top, bottom. There we go. There's our bottom rudder. And here's poop deck or stern poop deck. A couple of ways we can do this. We can put glue on these, or kind of have a look where they touch, so they're about the second last one here of covers, and down to here, and there's a little bit on the bottom. So for me, that's how I do it. I put it in here, back for this, a little bit on the bottom. Same on the other side. Down to here, a little bit on the bottom. Get this set in. Just want to make sure you're gonna just fuss with it. If your glue's nice and hot, you'll have time to maneuver it a little bit. So that's a thought. If you glue something on, originally I thought, well, a hot knife will scrape it back off. But you know what I find? I find a really sharp filleting knife is probably the best thing. Like supposing you've got something on in the wrong place or something, I just use a filleting knife and slice it back off, and then go to work to get it fixed. So this is on the front. Now, the square windows, see the square windows on these? The square windows always face the back. So in other words, this one's going to face out the bow of the ship, and this one's going to face back, but at the front, but facing the cargo area. So, and again, enjoy the ride. Just have a look, make sure your windows are up and not upside down, but again, it wouldn't be the end of the world. So we want a little bit of glue on this. I put a little on these edges, and I get her on here, squeeze them together a little bit. So again, you're never going to get it perfect, but it'd be nice to have just a little bit of a bow at the front there. So now we want a little bit of glue on top of that. Again, I put some on the edges. And you take this little piece, and this goes on top, like so. This was forecastle. This Texas deck, I have to think. My mind's going in my old age, so now work on this back one. There you go, folks. Just kind of position it. Use a pencil, use a knife, use whatever. Again, windows to the back, windows on the top side. Now we want a top for that. Should be this guy. See this little hole here? This is going to be for like I don't know what it is. It's a pole, maybe a radio connection or something. So that's going to go on top of that with your hole here at the front. So on she goes, maybe a little on the edges. And she's on. Now, you don't have to do this, it'll pop through, but I put a hole through because when I put my board in, the same for the back here. So that's it. Where else can we go? We can put this on. And this is what opens the hatches. And you can just pick a spot for it. You'll see there is a track printed here, so this thing moves up and down as it lifts the tracks. Well, on the real thing, freighters. And this is our pilot house. You see we want to have just a little bit of a, again, windows to the top. And I put here, a bit of this, a bit on here to hold it. I don't know if you're used to working with a glue gun, but I mean, I get burned all the time, and I just get off my fingers onto my pants somewhere, just and it seems to be okay. This guy goes right in behind here, smokestack. Get a shot of glue in here, a little bit on the edge, stick your flag in. Okay, she's coming, eh? If you're not sure of the height here that you want, then just put some glue on here. Stick her in. Good and solid, and I'd say just above the smokestack. Done. There it is. We'll use that on the front. Now we need the top on here. Keep grabbing that drill by mistake. You light up a little bit when you grab the glue gun by the head on it. That's hot. Again, you can just use a punch on that. Maybe a little high. There's our ship. She's just about done. There's only 2 pieces left. These are fussy. You know, if there's a part of this ship that's a fuss, it's this. So I bend this and I mark where the middle is, okay? And then I mark where the middle of this is on here. This lip. This is trying to get this lip around here. See these here? So they're a fuss. So what I do, there's no up and down to it. I know where my middle is. I get some glue on that. I know where my middle is, and I put my middle on that piece and glue and set it on. So you see what I mean? Just kind of tack it on there and leave it. And do the same with this guy. This is on the next deck up around the pilot house. There it is in the middle. You just want this lip bending down. And believe me, there's been times where I put it on. So that, mark that about the middle. Okay. So I put the bottom one on first, and I put the top one so I'm not in the road. And then when I'm going down, I'm going to do the reverse. So now I'm going to put, so you can see, a little bit of glue on the bottom of this, and then on the bottom of this, and bring them around. And try to bend it in there a bit. This up. Bend it in. It's not cooperating. Now back to the bottom. Again, this whole thing started just as a bright idea, and it's because you couldn't buy a ship, and we wanted something for the tourists that was inexpensive for the kids to grab and have some fun, and an educational product. What went on? My wife tells me that we would have money today if I didn't come up with all these bright ideas, but so here we are. Got a finished product. What'd that take? Half an hour? So enjoy the process. My email is leephillips3522@gmail.com. If you have questions, or you'd like to order a boat or a number of boats assembled or in package form, be in touch. Thanks.